out there, Stockton, California. This is KXVS.org, your community radio service of the Stockton and 209 area of the Valley of Stockton, California. Yeah. And here we are at the Yellow Dot Spotlight shows on Fridays. And today we have the March for Science event, and we have Ava Simpson, Kari Khoury, and John Little here to share with what's happening here coming up on the 22nd. Is that the day? That's right. So March 22nd is the March for Science, which is
22nd.
April. That's right. We're still in March. Sorry about that.
We're marching in April.
We're marching into April. That's a good way to put it. So this is a newer event that we're having this year for Stockton, and it's going to coincide with the Earth Day event. So this will be the day before.
Right.
All right. And so Ava, can you help explain what we're doing with the Earth Day and the March for Science?
Okay. Yeah, I can speak to that.
Sure.
This march was an offshoot of an existing Earth Day event where I'm on the Earth Day committee, and we're in our 29th year of that. And when we heard of the national effort to do a March for Science on the traditional Earth Day, which is April 22nd, convinced the group to add this on the day before our event at Victory Park. So that we're not competing with ourselves, we're making it 2 hours only, 9 to 11 o'clock, and it will consist of walking around the perimeter of the park on the sidewalks. We'll have a little meetup ahead of time at the northeast corner by the Rose Garden, and we will provide some art supplies and some little mini handheld kind of fans for those who might want to make their own. So one side will have the March for Science graphics and the information, and the back side will be blank, and they can write whatever their message will be. So we think that'll be a little more fun for families to do that kind of thing.
Definitely. It's kind of interacting too,
Yeah.
They're kind of hands-on stuff.
Right.
And any kind of message, because as these things go around, it's going to be kind of neat as you see all these different messages of people's ideas and everything like that.
Exactly.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so we also have Kari here with your community organizer, and this is part of the event also with March for Science.
Yes, I'm a lead organizer for our revolution in Stockton, San Joaquin County, and we decided that this was something that we really would like to be involved in and encourage our members to come out and support. And we all know that this atmosphere now in our country calls us to march for science and to advocate for scientists doing really great research in our country that benefits us all. So that's something we jumped on as a no-brainer with using our brains.
Definitely. And that is a good thing how, as we progress, the science, how it can help us, and to learn more about it, which is knowledge is always a key
Absolutely.
to information, which is a great day to celebrate and everything for that.
We're excited because there's over 500 marches planned across the country, and 35 countries are joining the Science March. And so there's people all over the world that are concerned that science is not given priority and the advocacy that it needs. So we're going to stand up with a lot of different people across the world, basically.
Wow, I didn't realize, it's a whole world event, not just our community, but our world community.
And
Right.
we're
Wouldn't it be great if
actually-
it was a world event?
Yeah.
There are other countries. There are other countries involved, and if you go to the marchforscience.org on the Washington D.C. site, we are listed, Stockton, California, as one of their official satellite marches.
Wow, how exciting! I mean,
We're on the map.
Right, we're on the map on the road and stuff. And then we also have John Little here today, which is part of Delta College, formerly of St. Mary's, teaching.
Yeah, I started at St. Mary's in 1965.
Wow.
Right.
I've been teaching for over 50 years.
Wow, that's a big, huge part of the community, sticking around. And
It's funny, I went to a dermatologist appointment this morning, and sitting there waiting for my turn to go in, a woman comes to pick up her mother. A woman I taught in 1969. She is now a chemist.
a chemist. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's pretty cool.
Makes me
That's the
feel
year I was
good.
born, and
Science teachers rock.
yeah, they help keep the earth moving.
Do what we can.
That's what we can. So with with all the science and Earth and everything, what are some of the views that everybody kind of shares of what with everything's happening as we're talking about the Earth and science as it's progressing together on there?
Well, science is such a basic part of our life. And a lot of people might not even think that. You go through your life and you're kind of moving along and you don't really think that science has helped us become, the society that we are and brought us so many cures for disease, policies that help human beings grow better food, or spread ideas that really support the people in general. So we're here to say that Stockton, number one, is a great place to have. We have lots of scientists in Stockton, and we're highlighting the fact that Delta College has a nursing program. We've got Healthcare Careers Academy in Stockton that helps children, young children who are interested in the sciences, hone their skills and come out ready to go to college to study science. We have in the medical community, there's Decision Medicine program, which is sponsored by the San Joaquin County Medical Society that help underserved kids fulfill their dreams about becoming allied care professionals, doctors and nurses and pharmacists. So Delta College has got a great program. UOP has a pharmacy program. And so science is alive and well in Stockton, and we want to really celebrate that too.
Definitely. I'd like to thank science for myself because my father, when he was born, he eventually got polio. And during his time, him telling me that they didn't have a cure yet. And so if they didn't find a cure, everybody's lives would have changed. I might not have been here, whatever the outcome, but he got cured. And it was amazing to hear his story about how science can, for me, of the first thought that I can be interactive with that thought of science and medicine.
We all have those things.
And so with Delta College, and you carry
Delta
on
College has an electron microscopy program that's one of the few in the country. In the country.
That's what I heard. Like maybe 3 schools have that here, or something like that. Or?
UOP Pharmacy, second to none.
Yeah.
This is some years ago, but there was a time when they had more of their graduates, pharmacy graduates, passing the state bar than USC did.
Wow, so that says a lot for our town and everybody involved with the community.
Yeah, on a global perspective, science brings people together, and there's people out there that are working called One Health, One Medicine. I'm a nurse, so I kind of know that this perspective of it all, but we're trying to bring in veterinary science and political science and health science together to decide how we can best combat diseases like communicable diseases, diseases you get in the tropics from the mosquitoes and things like that. How do we, as a society, through science, solve some of these problems that affect millions of people? So it's local, but it's something that touches everybody across the world.
It does. And science kind of seems like a puzzle, and for people who like puzzles, trying to figure these things out, why, and to help cure stuff is just amazing. Fascinating. That can get somebody's curiosity going.
Yeah.
That want to get into that field and everything.
Yeah, we're really, as far as the political end of it, sort of my thought about it is that there have been administrations over the years that have been pro-science, and a little bit we are in a time where we fear that our administration now is anti-science or minimizing science. So it's up to us people to stand together and to tell our leaders that, we really need science. It helps to form good policy for our country. And, we are going to stand together to really hold our leaders accountable.
I think so, because for the whole earth and the whole world, when you're sick, you're sick. It doesn't matter what country, what nationality. We all need to help, and if science can help out here and there,
that's right.
It's an amazing process that we're all going through.
It's important to understand that science isn't just this little isolated thing.
Yeah.
Everything is science.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When an infant first figures out, well, if I lean forward and move my foot, then I won't fall. That's science.
Wow.
That's organized.
And that is
thought.
every day. We don't think of that. I mean, we don't think of every day,
yeah.
but something like that is
But
amazing.
we had to learn it at some point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, two for left, right,
Yeah.
tummy, pat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really excited that we are represented by Congressman Jerry McNerney, who is a PhD in mathematics. He's worked in the wind industry. He's a scientist.
my
So
gosh.
he brings his expertise to Washington on our behalf. And I feel at ease when I have a politician that looks at the world through science. And we're very grateful that we have him representing us.
No, that's a good thing, especially you can trust somebody like that, to speak forward for you.
Yeah, he's open-minded, and he's going to look at facts and evidence, and evidence-based decisions are often much better for people in general. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Especially with the mathematical mind, with the math and science, how it comes together. It is nice to see some of the factual things that can back up some of the things, and it does encourage some of the people that they can go forward with that.
Right.
Some of the facts, and facts is always good. It kind of balances out the unfacts. Right.
I'm excited
That's our
because
new language.
Right.
The unfacts.
The unfacts.
on Saturday, the 22nd, we're excited because we're going to reach what is it, 1,000?
Oh,
Oh,
Tell-
this is
tell
a
us about that.
computation, yes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes, we decided that to kind of break up the 2 hours and have a goal for the day that midway through the morning at 10 o'clock, we would do our best to stretch out around the perimeter of the park. And we did the math on how many people it would take for us to surround the park. So 0.784 miles is the best calculation I could come up with.
there we go. Math and
Doing
science.
The,
Yeah,
with the
there you
math.
go.
It's times 5280 feet, and then divided by an average wingspan of 4 feet per person. That's kind of a good average.
Yeah, remember the little people, the little
Right,
kids,
remember the little
average for
people,
that.
Right. And so it came out to 1,034 people that we would need to have in place that day to create our version of a wave like you would do at a ballpark, but we're calling it a chain reaction to keep
Ooh, I like that.
Cellular chain
yeah,
reaction.
chain reaction.
Chain
Well, we'll be a
reaction.
standing wave.
Yes, and
Right.
so we're going to do at 10 o'clock. We will count off in multiples of 100, mark every 100 people around the park, and then we will do whatever flag waving, noise making, dance in place, whatever you want to do. We're inviting drummers and musicians and
All right.
whatever. We want this to be meaningful, but fun. It takes a little bit to get some high school kids out in particular on a Saturday morning. Okay, so we want them to look forward to coming out. We want families to come, and then we want them to come back the next day to have more interaction at Earth Day. So you want continue the dialogue, get more information on Sunday, at Victory Park, and that's an all-day event. It's a standalone, a successful event that people look forward to already.
Yeah, definitely a nice community that everybody can come
Yeah.
to and revisit each year if they haven't seen each other. And this March for Science thing is a wonderful appetizer for the Earth Day event, which it still works together. I mean, science
Yeah.
and Earth, we can't get away from it because it's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And math, everything that's involved, that's what we're doing.
That's right.
And I love the chain reaction. That's going to be cool. I'm going to start right now. I'm going to open the door and just start holding hands.
That's right.
And just
so
we got 4 of it, right? The 3 or 4.
We could do
All we
this.
need is 1,030 more. We're home
That's
free.
it, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And I think we can get that with this wonderful community we got.
There you go.
You know,
there you
we
go.
can.
Especially for the first year, we can get everybody out there.
definitely.
I was encouraged to think smaller. Let's just surround the pond, and I said, nah, we're going for it.
Going for it, right? Huh?
Yeah.
Especially all those runners, we're just going to grab them.
That's it.
You don't know, but hang on. Just grab them right there. So real quick, off the beaten path, to get a little nerdy, do you think, as Star Trek has been one of my greatest influence of science and ahead of its time, the tricorders and all these things that they have. I mean, do you guys really enjoy seeing that kind of stuff? How TV mimics life as life mimics TV? I mean, we're gonna get holograms pretty soon. They're starting to
That's
make those
right.
things.
Tell
So-
us about the cloak of.
Oh yeah, there's so many scientific discoveries. But when I was looking in the internet, recently, just to see what's happening now, There is actually a invisibility cloak. So what's it, Harry Potter? Okay, who's
Oh
a
my
Harry
gosh.
Potter fan? I am.
There we go.
Yeah. There is actually an invisibility cloak out that scientists have developed. So you wear this jacket, and they've able to bend light so that it actually looks like you're looking through the jacket. So it looks like the person's invisible. I mean, there's just
Oh my
so many
gosh.
things that
Yeah.
they're developing now.
Well, we finally got Dick Tracy's two-way wrist radio.
Yeah, see all that? That's even going
Oh yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. You
Just a
mean,
little on the
30s or 40s?
Yeah.
right. That's
have-
almost
do we have
100
a
years ago.
hoverboard?
Yeah.
The hoverboards, yeah. Back to the Future. It's amazing. When you see this stuff for the first time on TV, you kind of chuckle at it. But then when it comes to life,
Yeah.
you're like, wow, science and people had a great hand in it. I mean, it's almost like what we can imagine can come out, and through science and math it's wonderful.
Science is like magic. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that children wonder and find so interesting. So if we foster that at an early age, in our community, and we're doing that in Stockton and in our county, that children will be more interested in the scientific world and how it relates to them. So
I'm always fascinated on why. Why is it like that? Why is that star illuminating the way it is, or whatever
Right.
yeah.
things? That's my intrigue of mine. It's like, why is that?
Yeah, the wonder of it all, really. How many, thousands of years ago, when scientists laid in their backyard and looked up at the stars to try to figure out how the Earth was part of the universe, and they were not always looked at as normal, right? But they persevered, and over time now we have these basic science facts that we know builds everything that we do. So it's really amazing what science has done for us.
All right.
And it's always changing. I mean, they learn,
Yeah.
they admit that, okay, maybe we didn't have, maybe
right.
Earth wasn't the center of the universe. So they move on, and as they learn it, and we have to encourage that. I think that's what I'm concerned with, is I'm seeing a trend towards devaluing education and intelligence, and that's somehow elitist to be educated, and that's just wrong. I'm sorry. We need to encourage education, and we need to foster that and reward it, and we need to make rock stars out of our scientists and our teachers, and not just people that are celebrities. We need to
Right, because those are the unsung heroes that are really putting in their time
absolutely.
without a thanks. A lot,
Right.
almost all the time they're doing that without thanks. And
Yeah.
and again, the education in schools, that's like our basic fundamental as kids, that we have to go somewhere, or at least we're gathered in a community of school of learning. And I know through the years, music and arts and other things, they kind of balance up and down, but we don't need to lose science or math or any other subjects that are
Or art.
that are balancing in our system.
Right.
We don't need to dummy down our kids. We want to bring them up. That's why I posted that thing on your. I seen it on the Facebook. I'm like, leave my kids, or what? I forgot that sign you had on there, Ava.
Oh yeah,
That-
that was my March for Science.
March
yeah.
for Science for
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that was wonderful.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and so that entails holding our leaders accountable to keep it science on the forefront. And we know, I mean, it's a sobering fact that money in politics and special interest money really does affect the way our government keeps science as a value in our society. So, lots of times you've heard some politicians say, well, I'm not a scientist, so I can't speak to that. But we as citizens, if we're aware of how wonderful science is in our lives, we really should hold them accountable to that and saying, well, if you're not a scientist, time to go to the scientist to find out the facts on that particular issue.
Instead of making up your own.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
yeah.
And there's, the money in politics is a big thing, and so special interests do have tactics that they use. It's important for us to be aware that, sometimes a politician who leans towards one particular special interest will sort of say, say for cancer research. Well, we all know we need cancer research.
Yes.
And so a politician may say, wow, this research is really fantastic, and kind of butter it up, right? And then when he gets back to Washington, he cuts funding for that program.
For medical research.
Right. And so if you're not aware of the voice of the politician, but also what he does in Washington on a policy basis, you're not. I feel like we should be better citizens and really hold them accountable, so that science is in our policy.
When they don't do what we think they should do, we should call them on
Call them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because they're representing us, and you
Yeah.
can't have say one thing and then go in there and change it up
Right.
Right.
in the middle of that. That's already
Right.
good and
Yeah.
stuff. So with politicians and private sectors, people like Tesla or the group like Tesla that
Yeah.
are trying to fund their own science adventures. And then for me, growing up, I always hear it's up and going up. NASA's kind of on hold. So it seems like a lot of these private sectors are taking on their own science adventures, which it's a new frontier, as Star Trek
Yeah.
says. What do you guys think about the government and private sectors doing their thing?
Well, I think what I've seen is that 70% of our science funding is privately funded, and the other 30%, give or take a few percentage points, is funded by the government. National Science Foundation, Institute of Health, things like that. And we have to be aware that we're hoping that our government doesn't cut it any further. The budget that just came out after this administration came out, after they were inaugurated, really does cut environmental protection. National health education for nursing and for doctors is potentially going to be cut. So we need to really watch how that unfolds, and be vocal.
You mentioned NASA. That is personal to me because my stepson, is a climate researcher for NASA at Goddard in Virginia.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Go up there and what's the temperature?
Yeah.
The backpack on.
Well, he started off with the research group that discovered the ozone hole at the South Pole,
Wow.
and he's been doing environmental. He
Wow.
can't decide whether he's a chemical physicist or a physical chemist.
He's just a good guy all around.
Yeah, Tom's a good boy.
Yeah, we discovered that amongst just the three of us, we all have connections to scientists or mathematicians and teachers. I'm a mother of a middle school math teacher, and so that's my personal connection to this.
Yeah.
And so it's important to me. It's important that my
Definitely.
kids, my grandkids, my community
That's what keeps the generations going.
Stays educated, and it's really kind of basic that they have decent air to breathe and clean water, and that's all connected.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we have educated people coming up through the system to keep us all protected.
Yeah, and not everybody is going to be a scientist. We need all kinds of people doing all kinds of jobs in our country. But to have an appreciation of what goes into science, the scientific method that everybody learns in school, putting forth a problem and devising an experiment, and you can do it in your everyday life. But it's really important to have that be.
You have to do it in your everyday life. That's what learning to think is.
Yeah. What about baking?
Yeah.
Baking,
Oh my
you
gosh,
got to
that's
put
a whole
those things
science
together.
right there.
Yeah.
I'm not a baker.
Right, you can't just throw it
But
together and
it's
just
science.
hope it comes out.
Based
you know?
on science, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my son, I'm thankful that he's really interested in science and math and everything else. He's kind of like, yeah. But honestly, when that subject comes up, he likes going to Stockton or Lodi to the science little things that they have there and go hands-on.
Oh,
And,
yeah, the World of Wonder Museum in Lodi.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's so
Awesome.
nice that we have those two, and hopefully more pop up. But I think, like with kids, to get the generations going, when they do hands-on and they see things change colors or
Yes.
or foam or all that little volcano stuff, I remember in school that was amazing, and little workshops now, which is really neat.
It's exciting
that.
also to see that they're doing more to encourage girls to go into science.
Yes.
I have a 13-year-old granddaughter who's taking coding, in her school, and she's happens to be very good at math also. And so, and I think it's a week or so after our event, I think there's a conference that's geared just specifically for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, for girls here in the Stockton
Well, that's
area.
great. I mean,
yeah.
get them involved too, and
Because
then
that
their
it-
confidence, build their confidence also.
Because it traditionally hasn't been a field that they went into. So girls and specifically girls of color, that there are knowing that that's an option, and it's a cool option.
Right.
I do give TV credit for making like forensics medicine, look pretty sexy. I have to say.
Yeah.
It is amazing, like all those shows and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so the March for Science is this first year in
Yes.
each year, and so this will be on Saturday.
April
April, we're going to
22nd.
start about that. April 22nd.
We're marching in April.
Right, because I was thinking of March earlier. I was like, wait, don't say March. But I kind of like that too. It's like marching into April
March.
for the
You'll have
March
to
of
study
Science.
while you're doing that.
Oh no, I'm being studied. Well, great. Well, I'm going to see what time we got here. I think that might be getting pretty close. So, any information on how we can find any information on any one of you, if people have more questions, or in your community that are listening to the show, how they might find each one of you, and anything like that, or any information you want to share.
Well, for the single most comprehensive website that you can go to is the livegreensanjoaquin.org website that encompasses both Earth Day and the March for Science. So there are links to that. That's livegreensanjoaquin.org. And both events have their own Facebook pages and event posts. So we invite you to go there, like our pages, share the event posts, invite your friends, bring your dog. We'll count him.
Right, his family. Come on.
That's going to be 4 feet.
Yeah,
All right.
we'll stretch him.
Do we have the leash too?
We'll count him. We'll
Yeah,
count him.
of
Okay,
course.
bring your dog. We'll count the
That's
dogs.
Yeah, we're telling everybody to host their own little sign making party this week. Do it with your friends and family. Maybe on the weekend. This weekend's a great time to do it. And we're holding a sign making party tonight at Togo's on March Lane there
Okay.
for those interested in coming to make some signs. And bring your signs and your enthusiasm.
All right, that sounds great. Well, thanks so much for this lunch hour, and I really appreciate you coming down and sharing all this information. Because for myself personally, I love science, and I can talk more and more about it. So again, thanks for coming down, and we'll catch up soon.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
inviting
Dave.
us.
All right.
All right, we'll see you soon. It's the Yellow Dot Spotlight Show, Fridays every day, or every Friday, from 12 noon to 1. All right, have a great day.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Julie Dameron, local veterinarian for over 20 years. I am so excited about my new radio show, Tales and Tips, on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Voice of Stockton, and KXVS Radio. I will discuss relevant issues affecting animals and pet owners today, how to avoid common problems, and how to extend the quality of life for your cherished companions. As a community advocate, I will also discuss important social issues that affect our city. I plan to showcase organizations and heroes who are doing amazing things to help others. Remember to tune in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
What's up? It's Ryan Cooper Unlimited here, and I've got a question for you. Did you know a running toilet can waste up to 200 gallons of water each day? That is 1,280 20-ounce bottles of water. And at one drip per second, a faucet can leak 3,000 gallons of water in a year. 3,000 gallons. That's 9,200 20-ounce bottles of water. Gone. You can hydrate a whole herd of wildebeest with that kind of water. Does this kind of information surprise you? Are you concerned? Does it raise the hairs on the back of your neck? Well, it should. But the question is, will you do anything about it? Well, if your heart is in the right place, I encourage you to come to the Earth Day celebration, where the theme is Water is Life. You heard me right. Water is life. This environmental event will be taking place at Victory Park behind the Hagen Museum on April 23rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This will be an epic day for kids, families, and residents of Stockton and the San Joaquin Valley area that are interested in educating themselves in water conservation. And of course, keeping our Earth, this world, clean and livable. So tell your friends and your close ones to visit Victory Park on April 23rd at 11 to 4 to celebrate the 29th annual Earth Day Festival. And not only can we make Stockton better together, but we can make the world better too. The event is free, so save some money and save the world. This is Ryan Cooper reminding you to live your life and love the life you live. You live once. Enjoy it. For more information, go to KXVS.org.
Okay, here we go. We got live only here, the lunch hour.
Never did get no religion.